What up, though, fam? It is your favorite accessory stylist and social entrepreneur, Alicia Gardner, and I don't have my mic on.
Wow.
Come on, man. Get over it. Okay. Go ahead.
It's your boy Timbo. Uh, Glad to have you guys with us today. We're coming back from spring breaking it, enjoying ourselves.
You need a break from spring break?
No, I'm good.
You really?
Yeah, I'm actually good.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I need a break from spring break.
Yeah. Y'all should have saw y'all favorite accessory stylist playing those kitty games at the arcade. She was like, one more time, I'm gonna beat it. One more time, I'm gonna beat it.
It is what it is. Oh my goodness. I won't lie, that was fun.
We had a good time as a family.
But I will say I was probably living vicariously through Elena. I'm like, dude, could you please aim? Oh my gosh.
She couldn't name none of those games.
She was like, I'm shooting. No, that's the only thing she was really focused on. All right, then let's jump into this. So for tonight, I don't know if you see, I mean, obviously you see the caption. Why don't you trust me? We're really going to be conversing about navigating those waters from different aspects, like when you have a partner, our partner, or maybe both parties have trust issues. How do you build trust in that? That is, I know, just in my mind, a somewhat wild convo to have. So, male perspective, not speaking on behalf of all male people, but just simply from your male's perspective, are you ready?
As ready I'm gonna be, I guess.
Oh man. So man, I am just gonna once again speak to my own experiences
Okay.
because that's all I know a lot of the time. Right? I don't know a whole lot, but anyhow, um, I know that trust is such a big thing in any and every relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's huge,
It-
and um, it is so common
Mhm.
for us as individuals to filter everything that we hear, everything that we see through our own experiences.
Mhm.
I know for me personally, I have projected my distrust
Mhm.
that I developed from other people
Mhm.
onto you.
Mhm.
Is that something that you ever noticed?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's
really?
yeah. It's usually not something that's hard to pick up.
Okay.
When you don't feel trusted in a certain space, you can tell.
Okay.
It's I give you for an example, like not with you though. If I issue with me trusting, like
Mhm.
if I don't trust you to like do something,
Mhm.
I won't even ask you. And if you say I'm gonna help you with that, I'm like, oh, okay. And and it's just that if I don't trust somebody enough to count on them to do something, I'm not even gonna pay 2 cents to them offering their help or going out my way to offer to ask them for help. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah.
For sure. Oh man, I that is so I huh. Because I know that about you because you definitely shared that with
Mhm.
me. And it's funny because I didn't know the specifics. I didn't even really put two and two together until you like straight up expressed that to
Yeah.
me. Um, but like I wasn't aware that you were aware of my distrust of others being really refracted onto you.
Mhm.
Do you know what I realized that
When?
I was triggered and I refracted um, what I thought was you. I was I thought that what I thought towards you was really actually it was actually true about myself.
Mhm.
So I was refracting my experience onto you towards me.
Okay.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, you don't trust me, and it really upset me. It was triggering.
Mhm.
It's like you don't even trust me. You don't even trust me,
Mhm.
and it made me angry. And it's like, why is this so triggering? Why is this upsetting? It's like, oh, because you're actually the one
Who doesn't
who doesn't
trust?
trust.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my mom, Like growing up, my mom, she would be like, if we acted a certain way and we were blind to it, she would pray and ask God to send someone in our life that
Reveal
was
it to you.
the
Mhm.
same way.
Mhm.
And it would every single time God would absolutely do that. And it'd be like a very like an even more extreme version of it.
Yeah.
And so it would just pee us off, right?
Yeah.
Like
Did I do that?
not even. Like at least I'll speak for myself. I would just be like, man, this person is so annoying. I can't stand it. I was blah 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 blah. And I would do, and my mom would be laughing. And I'm like, why is she laughing? I'm like, Mom, why are you laughing? She's like, Alicia,
You do that.
you do the same thing. I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, Alicia, think about it. I'm like,
She put on her kid voice.
right? I'm like, dang, that's why it pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because I see myself
Mhm.
in that person.
Mhm.
It is horrible. And it would often help me change that behavior. Or see God be like, Lord, this is really hard for me to pray. Can you please help me through this? Because I don't know what to do. Like,
Yeah.
God help me.
Yeah.
But man, being on the receiving end of that for you, like, what the heck was that like? That had to be wild.
It was it was it was wild, like, if I guess, for lack of a better word. It was more like kind of what your mom did. I'm like, Lord, help her to see that she has issues trusting me. Not, or it's like, why? I'll be like, why is she taking her past experiences out on me? I used to say that a lot. I used to ask God that a lot. Like, I'm not that same. You know, I don't act the same. I don't move the same way.
Yeah.
Why am I dealing with something that I can't control right now? You know?
Yeah. It makes you wonder if it's like a lot of spaces that I really didn't have closure in.
Yeah.
Didn't really have the space and autonomy to give voice to.
Yeah.
Probably. Probably really.
Mm-hmm.
So was that like frustrating? Was that upsetting? Like,
it was frustrating.
Okay.
It was definitely frustrating. I try not to get too upset because I know I operate in hurt sometimes as well.
Mhm.
So I try not to get angry about it, but of course I'm human.
Right.
I'd be like, this is really, but you know, you just got to keep moving forward, you know, and pray a lot.
Yeah. I was just about to say, one thing I really enjoy about you is you often, if not always, surrender things to God. Like things that you have been frustrated with me about, I oftentimes don't even get wind of it from you. I know I've been corrected by the Lord, like you know, and God would reveal things to me. But when it comes to you specifically, I have often not really, unless you've felt in your heart or had that clear spiritually to be like, you need to speak up, like you need to say something. I really like the fact that we've come to a place and that we're growing in places where we can truly speak freely.
Yeah.
Even if it's something that's uncomfortable, even if it's something that is sensitive, it's like it feels really good to be able to discuss things without it turning into an argument. It feels good to be able to have the space and the safety to express yourself freely from both sides. I know that's something that I really longed for from you for a long time. And I had to realize that I didn't always give you that. It's like, dude, you don't even trust the guy. And it's not for me for anything that he did. Like, why would he feel safe in distrust? So I thought that was really wild.
Yeah.
But thank God for God.
Absolutely.
Thank God for correction, for his grace. I know when I pray a lot of times, I'm like thanking God for displaying his love through you. I know you're not perfect. I'm definitely not perfect.
We are two imperfect beings coming together, and we clash. We have our arguments. We have our discussions, but at the end of the day, we're growing in it all. And
but you know what? It seems like lately it seems more like a synergy.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Um,
It took a while to get here, but
ugh,
we're we're on the right track,
yeah, for sure.
and it's a delight.
Indeed. You know, of course, I talk to my mom a lot. Like you, I mean, you already know that.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much as I used to. You can't say that. You cannot deny that. Um, but one thing
I love you,
she's
Lasonia.
one thing that comes up in conversing with her a lot is it's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, we can pray and ask God to help us, and absolutely, He truly will. Absolutely, it takes a choice. It takes choosing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I forgot, was it last week? I was like telling you, it's like, man, I've been wanting to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning forever. And then it finally came to me. If you want to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, then wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, why are you making this complicated? Like, oh, I can't get up. Really? So is a man thinking, so is he. You're like, what you talking about? You can't get up. Yes, you can. Get up. And it's so funny how just having that simple shift in my thoughts of you want to get up, you then get up.
Yeah.
I would get up.
Yeah.
I get up. Like it's wild. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's so simple.
Yeah, it's like I always tell you, don't talk about it, be about it.
Right. It's a choice. And so for me, on our journey of building trust, allowing God to heal us each in those spaces where people have let us down or we've had a perspective or is everything now I'm getting distracted. But anyway, making the choice through all the things, through all the hurts, through all of the filters. Finding just keeping it simple, like, hey, what's something that we can do together?
Yeah.
That I can be like, okay, Alicia, let it go. Things are not gonna be exactly how you want them to be. And guess what? It's still gonna be done. It's still gonna be one of quality. Like, come up there. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And it's been a bit easier than I thought it would be. So, for example, perfect example, I shared this with you earlier. Us doing a vendors event together as a family.
Yeah.
Now, you know how I'm super detail oriented. I want things a very particular kind of way. And for years, I have not allowed you, especially the little people as well, to help me prepare for a vendor's event, prepare for anything of that likeness. Never. And this past weekend was the very first time I actually allowed y'all to help me prepare things. Y'all were there with me. We worked together. So like I thought it would be like stressful, like, oh my God, this is not how I want it to be. Like, oh, and it was actually the most fun I've ever had at a vendors event. It was my most successful vendors event ever.
Yeah.
Genuinely connected with so many people, had so many conversations. We exceeded my expectations in sales. I knew Roman. I was like, my baby's gonna sell out with his cookies, and of course he did. Like he technically
that
did.
Boy was hustling.
He was like on it. I'm like, I know he's gonna sell out.
He's pretty good.
And for me, I wasn't really focused on me or like. It's like for me, you know me, God's our provider, and you're like, hey, this is a business, darling. But connecting with people is what really speaks to my heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
But man, having y'all there, having the littles there, witness all of that, having Roman really engaging and being in what I didn't even know was his element. Us working together.
They called him the businessman.
Dude, right? But oh my gosh, it was amazing. It was so enjoyable.
Yeah.
It truly added to me.
Yeah, it was cool being on the other side. Usually just set up and tear down.
Right.
Whatever. It was cool actually working the table, helping, talking to people and stuff like that. It was enjoyable. I made some connections that
dude, like you were paying attention. You were paying attention in ways that I wasn't even paying attention in. And I'm like, dang, I have been missing out for some years because I haven't been working with my husband. And it's like God placed us together for a reason. Like, I don't. Of course, it's a choice. Of course, we chose each other, but I don't know if many people know that we prayed about being married to one another.
Yeah.
We both sought God's perfect will for us to be married. I don't know if that's a common thing. I don't know if that's an uncommon thing. I don't know. All I know is that for us, that was the absolute most important thing for us to come together in this covenant.
Yeah.
And it's like, you would think that I would have realized a lot sooner than later.
Well, that was one of the spaces you didn't trust.
Well, not just that. It's like, girl, God put y'all together. God, the only perfect being there is, period, put you together. He gave you not just what you wanted, he gave you what you needed. You know, and I should have known a lot sooner that there would be this innate synergy, that we will work well together. We're, you know, even though, you know, we still have our places that God's still healing us in, even though that I know that God is still building trust, my trust in him, just to let things go. Let him truly be God. It's like, hey, I gave you this husband, I gave you, you know, this partner. You know, y'all are here for each other. You're not here for yourselves. Y'all are actually here to serve together and serve my people together, and you'll be better when you're together. I'm like, So, like, how was that experience for you?
I told you, like we talked about earlier, I really enjoyed it. I enjoy you letting us into that world because, you know, we've been, you know, on the back burner to that, for lack of a better way of saying it. We were like, you know, we do the background stuff when you let us do that too. Your handwriting bad, stuff like that. So it was really enjoyable, and it was also cool to have Roman there because he, you know, he was selling this stuff. He was like, I'm selling cookies and my mom's selling jewelry, and like when you walked away from the table,
a customer.
He was sending customers to the table and things like that. That guy's funny. But I really enjoyed it. I really did. You know, I don't really spark a lot of conversations with random people, but I was able to talk to some of the other vendors, get to know them and things like that. It was real cool.
Was there anything that surprised you?
I don't think so. Nothing too surprising. Nothing too surprising. I was worried that if I suggested something that you weren't gonna be like, you'd be like, nah, we're not gonna do that. But you actually were open to me. Like I was like, hey, we need to move that up on the table, and so it can be in people's line of sight and things like that. And you were like, that's a good idea. And I was like, yeah, it is. So that was cool too. So.
Yeah, like I think for me, just getting out of my head and just actually diving in opportunities to build trust is what really is helpful for me. Because, you know, I can quite easily overthink things. But, man, praise God for God. Thank God for a beautiful family. I know we get on each other's nerves sometimes, especially I love our littles. I love them. It's like, ooh, baby, sweet baby. But they were really, even for like a 5-hour event, they did so good. Now that I think about it, they didn't get on my nerves that once. You know, that's God. The grace of God.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's funny because as I was breaking down the tables and stuff and putting stuff in the car, that's when they got on my nerves.
When it was all said and done.
I was like, y'all been good this whole time. Now y'all get to my nerves. But it was cool.
They were good.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Oh, man. So what's something that's helped you build trust in a relationship?
Giving you opportunities. Honestly, because like a lot of times I'll be like, no, she's not gonna do it. I'm not gonna ask her to do it. But I've given you opportunities, and you come through, and it builds trust. So it's a growing process. Also, like I said, prayer. Like I was like, I'm gonna give it to you, Lord, and whatever you see fit to bring to her attention, to show her, to help me, do it. and that I leave a lot of things just there.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm not picking it back up.
Yeah, at the altar.
I'm not stressing about it.
You take care of this,
It's
Lord.
gonna happen. 'Cause I'm one of those. It's gonna happen when it happens.
Mm.
So that's how I do things. You know? So
That's real. You know what has given a huge shift
What?
for the better? Us praying together about
oh
it.
yeah, absolutely.
That and that's something that was on my heart for a while.
Yeah.
And once again, simply making the decision, just do it. Just once again, speak to my experiences. I know I have made so many excuses throughout my entire life. Reasons as to why I couldn't do something. Oh, I can't work out, 4 or 5 days a week. I'm just tired. Do stuff tired all the time. Stay up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Tired. Watching Golden Girls. Eating popcorn. How about that? You see what I'm saying? It's like, how bad do you really want things?
Right.
It's like, I know for me, even like, well, if I don't see it, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. Put on a reminder.
Yeah.
Put a daily reminder on. I know
that's helped a lot.
A whole lot. Since I hear great is thy faithfulness, hallelujah.
It's that time.
Right, it's time. It is time to pray. Oh man, and even like getting up in the morning to give God my first fruits. Man, that Jonathan McReynolds album, My Truth. Oh, y'all check it out. It's so good. But that's
just get your plug, Johnny Mac.
Man, I really want to go honest. I'm digressing, but the song, man, first always, Lord, I vow to put you first, always. Give you my days, always. Oh, and then music. When it comes to music, I am so particular, and it's just like all of the melodies and harmonies and everything's work. Musical expression to even intensify the words. And I'm like, oh, I'm like in tears every morning. It's like, God, I vow to put you first. It's my promise to you.
That's good.
You know what? That helps me build trust with myself towards God. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was going to ask you, because he's asked me before, has God ever asked you, why don't you trust me?
Hey, I don't know.
He hit me with that early in our marriage because I'd be like trying to fix things on my own.
Okay.
And not giving things to him. And early in our marriage, he was like, before I started just leaving things, when I was stressed out all the time, smoking and all that stuff, I would be like, and he hit me one day. He's like, why don't you trust me in this? And I'm like, and it really changed my perspective. I had to make a choice to trust him with our marriage, to trust him with my relationships, with my family, with Joshua, with everything, with my career, and
he's really blessed you.
He's really, once I put my trust in him in all those areas, everything's just been flowing.
Yeah.
It's just been flowing. And so, if he's never done that to you, listen, because he gonna ask you.
I think for me, I'm not sure if he has, because I have often said to him, especially through tears, God, I don't trust you. And I don't know. And sometimes I didn't even know why. It's like, I don't know why I don't trust you. And then it would slowly begin to be revealed to me. It's like, Dad, God, I have daddy issues. And you are God the Father. It's really hard for me to see you in that way because I have such a skewed view of what a father is. And so, you have to help me because I'm struggling. And he did. So, I don't know. I've often had that I've often come to him just because it's like he's always been a safe space for me to say the uncomfortable things. to say things like that. I've had people ask me, "Can I say that to guys?" Like, you can tell him anything. You can say whatever to him. He can handle it. I promise you.
Yeah, once you start talking to him real and stop coming to him with all the fluff, the extra,
the veils and the mask and all the things.
His son,
like he knows
his son for the veil for you to talk to him freely.
Right.
So,
but I have a friend that was like, they are so uncomfortable talking to him in that way. It's like, how does she put it? It's like, because he could see me. It's like, that's why you, but think about it.
He already sees
that
it.
part. It's like God sees every part of you. You are literally, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually naked before the eyes of God. And yet, oh my goodness, he is so in love with you. He longs. He wants to spend. He's desperate to spend time with you daily.
Yeah.
He wants to be on your mind all the time. He wants to take care of you. He wants to carry you. He wants to grace you through everything. He wants to be your strength, your peace, your joy. He wants to be your decision. He was like, it's like, I know that I have overcomplicated life. It's like, I don't even have to make my own decisions. Like, how many times have I stressed myself out because, like, oh my God, I'm making the right decision? What does God say about that? What does it say in His Word? Make it easy for yourself.
Yeah.
Depending on my own strength. Ooh, Lord, I've timed myself out so much with that. Oh my gosh. But like, it's almost self-defeating. It's almost like an oxymoron. It's like, oh, I can't talk to him like that. He sees me. Exactly. Like, that's why you can't. And I don't know. I think because I know I've been deceived, and I have to be reminded, baby, God loves you. He's not up there, or he's not everywhere, just folding his arms like in pure disgust. God, I wish you. I guess he's not looking at me, despising me or tolerating me. It is so quite the opposite. He delights in me. It's like, I wish people really got even like a fraction of that revelation of how it's like you're his baby, his precious little baby.
Yeah.
He loves you so much. I'm sorry, that gets me.
Yeah.
Oh man. Is there anything else you have on trust and building trust?
No.
All right, fam. But this has been Minute Myths. If you are in a space where trusting God, trusting others, it's really hard for you. Guess what? That's probably most, if not all of us, in some capacity, at some way, fashion, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Give it to God and give yourself grace and time to allow that to be built in you.
Absolutely.
You don't have to put your trust in man. If even putting your trust in God and trusting people to be how they choose to be good or bad, you'll have a lot more peace in that space. But fam, I hope you enjoyed this. It is always our pleasure to share our journey. We don't have all the answers, but we know the one who does. And so if there's anything that's on your heart, anything that you want to hear us converse about, if it's been a part of our journey, if we can speak on it from a Christian perspective, because hey, we rock Jesus. Boom. We'll be more than happy to converse about it. So just send us a message, comment. If you haven't already, be sure to like and follow us right here on Lifestyling. But family, love y'all so very much. If you like, your boy and your girl, you're like, I love these two. They're so goofy and insightful. And you like to support, we have a marketplace with a mission that gives back to all kinds of causes. The Linktree link is scrolling down below. I'll put it in the comments as well for your convenience. All right, fam. Thank you so much for joining us. Y'all take it easy. Happy breezy.
Peace.